Sparkle
That's
away,
right.
everyone.
Sparkle away. Yeah.
Well, hello, hello. No matter what the
Hello.
psychopaths do, no matter what your religion, no matter where you are politically, just remember to come together, kumbaya. Let us save our
Hmm.
country by first saving ourselves. Bring together our communities in love and support and move away from conflict. That is where we are with the channel. Joel, of course, wonderful to see you back again after
Yes,
quite a
Joel, it's good to have
hiatus.
you.
Our floor director,
Yeah.
Joel, is back in the studio. I think because we do have such an international topic. We are talking about war, and I know all of you are going to want to have your voices heard. So before we get started, if
Yeah.
everybody could like, share, and subscribe, that would be
Please.
great. Chuck, how have you been over at the Chronicles of Chucky Poo? Talk about your channel and everything you've
The
been up to.
Chronicles of Chunky Poo. I'll take it. Maybe I should change the name to that. Well, I've been stepping it up. I've been putting a lot more channeled readings on
Saw that.
on my channel,
Great
and
ratings.
thank you. And that means a lot to me. It really does. I have a channeled reading from Marilyn Monroe, done for her 100th birthday last Monday. Betty Davis, talking about Marilyn Monroe, what she really thought of her. And then I did my channeled reading of Amelia Earhart, which
Yes,
That's
that was
even
good.
better.
the last I looked is now up to about 37,000
Yep.
views. It may even be more. I've had over 200 responses to it. I'm still answering. It's been wonderful responses, some not so wonderful responses. I've been called names. One
It
person said
pushes a lot of buttons because
it
she
pushes
was
a lot of buttons.
really,
Yeah,
she was an icon. She was an
yeah,
icon.
yeah,
Trend center.
yeah. And you know something, Whimsy, when I first started doing this on your channel here, I expressed that to you. That was my fear. People might call me names, say you're a fake, you're a charlatan, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, it has happened when you get 37,000 viewers, and I'm just learning to navigate that, accept that, and know what's my truth and what's my integrity, and I'm holding on to that. And most of the responses have
Absolutely.
been just
Mhm.
lovely, and I'm very excited about this direction on my channel. And I have you to thank, Whimsy, for prodding me to go in this
Well,
direction.
thank you so much. And as Joel will let you know, he is the official floor director. He is already hitting us with a bunch of questions. And I know all of you will want to pipe in as we bring in June 9th. A lot going on. We first
Yeah.
want to give gratitude to the person who has been awarded the June Book of the Month selection here on Taco, excuse me, Taco Tuesday. June's award goes to Elizabeth Kelly Stevenson. She is the author of The Trouble with Truth, a memoir.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly, if you could contact me, whimsy at gmail.com, that would be awesome. So we can set
Awesome
up the
sauce.
time that we get that interview up and going
Yeah.
for that. But The Trouble with Truth, a memoir, I really love the title and I love the way it opens up. You know, the truth of who we are is one of the most difficult truths. Who is strong? He who conquers himself. Any
Yeah.
feelings you gentlemen have about that as you contemplate this month's book of the month?
Well, I have to order my copy of the book, but that's been a very big running theme when I do readings for people. Yesterday on my show, I did a lot of readings for people, and that kept coming up over and over. You know, people wanting a relationship or a job or whatever. It kept coming up. It's about, what do you honestly want? What is authentic to you? What is in your soul that you really desire? You have to be very clear about that before you can manifest something.
Yeah, and if we're going to be of use to anybody, we've got to be able to get our stuff together and we have to be willing to look at our shadow. And
Yes,
sometimes that means loving parts of ourselves we might not be entirely happy with.
absolutely.
Okay, let's get into it. Joel, would you do the honors, please? I mean, Chuck, excuse me.
Oh, to do the honors. Okay. From our wonderful Joel Tilson, Trump was shaken up during the Meet the Press interview and stormed out when asked about the Iran stalemate war. I thought he also stormed out because he was asked about the 2020 claims that it was rigged, and that set him off. He was just very.
He was ready. He was ready to bolt.
He looked like he was about to explode.
Yeah.
I'm a little confused. He accused us of stealing the 2020 election.
Well, he's made that claim all this time that the election in
Everything's
2020 was
rigged.
rigged. You know, Biden did not win. He
Yep.
was the winner. You know, he can't accept the fact that he lost. He never has been able to do that. So that was one of the things. But it was, I know that the reporter, I forget her name. Do you remember, Joel? She was asking him about that.
It was a young female reporter.
Yes, and a
she
well-respected
really
reporter.
got him.
Oh, she
Good.
did. She did. And we saw him at his misogynistic
His
worst.
face was getting redder and redder.
Yes, redder. He looked literally like he was about to explode, but he took his mic off, and I think he stomped on it, stepped on it, and said, well, goodbye, darling, or something, something patronizing.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you folks feel that he has become a lame duck? He's now sitting at, if you look at The Economist, he's at about 36%, but others have him as low as 32%.
Yeah.
Are we talking about a lame duck at this point?
I think so. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's lost a lot of his clout. And also, I think the Republicans running for re-election, they see him as a liability now.
Yep.
Yeah. You know, it's like an endorsement from Trump as a kiss of death.
Well, now we also have a problem on the Democratic side because, for example, the person running for the Maine Senate under the Democrats is basically a neo-Nazi. So the other side is we have people who are half an inch from being neo-Nazis running for the Democratic ticket. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think that the Democrats did a poor job vetting this guy. I mean, they should have they should have done a background check on this guy before
Yeah, you would think.
before you run for any office.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just
Yeah.
that's bad for the Democrats. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
Yeah,
in
I
Maine.
mean, I think I would be inclined as a Democrat to vote for Collins because at least it's not a Nazi. So registered Democrats could be going over to Collins just because,
Yeah.
we don't, what the heck is happening that we've got these people linked to Qatari money with their anti-Israel, neo-Nazi leanings.
Right.
It's as if the neo-Nazis are trying to take over the left wing of the Democratic Party.
Yeah. It's like,
And I think that's something to be worried about. Just Chuck,
I was
please
just
go
going to
ahead.
say, it's like what politician has not been bought off?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which doesn't change my values as a Democrat, by the way. I am
Yeah.
still a pro-Israel registered Democrat. I'm not happy with the direction Israel has gone under Netanyahu because I am a left of center Democrat. I'm the same politics as Golda Meir. I might even be a little bit more left in some respects than Golda Meir. So I'm certainly not happy the direction the country has gone in under Netanyahu. But the idea of being the only democracy in the Middle East with Western values and protecting those Western trade routes. And I think that that's something I wanted to get into next with both of you gentlemen, because I know how highly educated you both are. Do you feel that Putin is, are we talking about containing Putin in phase 4 of the 5 phases? 5 phases were developed by Grok, which is a supercomputer considered probably one of the best supercomputers in the world. It's certainly been controversial for undressing people. Grok has done a lot of things that Grok shouldn't have done. But one thing about Grok is that Grok is highly accurate. And this was something I was fiddling with. I had a pretty good idea. I was on the right path. And this was the phases that Grok had for least, least amount of deaths. And this was published in late 2023 of what Grok felt was likely going to go down. I worked with it. This is what I thought, and Grok basically agreed with me because I checked with Grok. Do you think we're now at phase 4 with the isolation of Putin? Either of you want to have an opinion about that?
Yeah.
Well, Putin right now is scared to send any of his jets right now, his expensive jets, because they're getting shot down. Plus, every day you're hearing about more and more attacks on Moscow, St. Petersburg, and the other major cities, and especially all the ports. The St. Petersburg port is getting hammered about every day now, and plus all the other. His navy is basically ineffective right now, so it's not looking good. And I think he's finally realizing that he's going to have to find a way to get out of this. Otherwise, he's going to be overthrown.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think that's where, are we looking at phase 4, Joel? Are they going to isolate and contain him?
Well, the arresting part is going to be kind of a challenge, but I think the Russians are going to deal with him instead of the
Can't they just put him under house arrest and say you're going to be staying at your villa in Siberia and you'll be ordering takeout? Isn't that one way of basically arresting him? Only it's under them. This is what they did to Tsar Nicholas. He was, when the White Guard took him out and shot him. This is basically what they did to Gorbachev. Gorbachev basically died locked in an apartment. He couldn't leave. Same with Yeltsin.
Right.
They all had the same ending. They were basically locked up in their homes and couldn't leave.
Whimsy, when was that done for Gorbachev? Do you know?
Well,
because I know he attended Reagan.
Right. They all praised him when he wrote the Constitution or the Declaration of Independence, which was, quite beautifully written. But it led to the end of all of these states being part of the USSR. The USSR dissolved. And so first they loved him and then they hated him. And that was basically what Gorbachev said in interviews. If you look at film footage of Gorbachev.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, but I'm sorry.
The communist system just doesn't work, period, in Russia, the way it's set up. You have to have so many Russians supporting one communist member. And I think the same thing is going to happen to China sooner or later.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that, please? Because I have the same feeling that China cannot maintain its current trajectory. It's gotten too large, like Rome. But what would you say about that?
They're supporting their industries by giving them putting government funds to prop up these companies. And a lot of these companies are going bankrupt, if you noticed. And I don't know how they're going to be able to maintain that for the next 10, 20 years. I think they're going to go belly up. And their military is no shape at all to do anything in Asia. I mean, they can go ahead and rattle their swords all they want, but they just don't have the weaponry, or they don't have any the funds to take care of that.
That was one of the things that's also come out, is that Russia is basically bankrupted, that they just can't financially afford to go to war anymore. Of course, this was how it ended for Gorbachev. He was basically isolated and couldn't leave his kitchen. Yeah, go ahead.
The reason I was asking when was he isolated, because I know that he attended Reagan's funeral, and I think that was in 2004. So he did go to Washington, D.C.
Yeah, they probably let him out for certain events, but here he claims he's under partial. This is 1991.
From a set of archives.
Yeltsin put him in jail. Or not, house arrest.
After the press conference of the State Emergency Committee, led by Comrade Yenayev, I understood that the Russian and foreign public had been misinformed.
So he just talks about how they kind of made it out like he was the enemy. And, Yeltsin also winds up in a situation where Yeltsin winds up getting pushed out, accused of a bunch of stuff that's not true. All of this trumped up by Putin.
Correct.
And then you wind up with all these people you're seeing that were pro Glasnost, that wanted to go with the 21st century. They all get squeezed out by this nightmare that starts to happen, and that is ultimately the reign of Putin.
Into the USSR.
Mikhail Gorbachev's signature at the bottom of his letter of resignation was hardly dry when nearby, over the Kremlin, the flag of the USSR was lowered. It had flown for 74 years over the largest empire of the 20th century.
Yeah, so he is vilified by this new administration that comes in, and of course the new administration being Putin, and then Putin wants to get all that territory back because it was the loss of trade routes, and he wanted those damn trade routes. Turkish Stream, which was the trade route that was bringing gas from Turkey into those Eastern European countries, that was going to be the big trade route that was going to bring money in for Russia. And Turkish Stream was also the thing that we in the West were very concerned about. It was a new trade route. It was a new oil trade route, and it was a new oil trade route that was going to compete with the West. And that was the big problems that we had with Turkish Stream, and why we went to war over Turkish Stream. But now we have the Abraham Accords, and I think that there's so many hundreds of billions of dollars that's going to be made that nobody's going to get in the way. And you wonder whether or not this great dream of Russia to bring oil through Turkish Stream to all those Eastern Bloc countries, if that's ever going to become a reality, because at this point he has so screwed up his economy and created so much problems. I don't know if he can even save himself at this point.
Yeah.
Probably not.
No.
Yeah.
We've even done readings for months and months, seeing this is going to happen to him. He's likely going to be exiled.
Mm-hmm. What's your feeling about what's going on with Iran? Same situation, going back to what Grok had reasoned, that inevitably there would be a fall of the Iranian government because it was no longer sustainable. Now Iran has taken the Straits of Hormuz.
Yeah.
Anybody surprised by that?
Well, they've been thinking about it for over the years, but they finally did it when we attacked them. And somehow they're going to have to. I hate to say it, but they're going to have to send troops over there to clean that out and open up that strait.
Boots on the ground.
Otherwise you're going to have high fuel prices, especially this winter.
We have no choice but to take the straits, which goes back to Grok's prediction from 2023, which is that inevitably there would be no way around it. Iran would be dismantled, Putin would be dismantled, and then you can talk about bringing them into the Abraham Accords. Trump jumped the gun. Trump was saying to Iran, come on, let's join the Abraham Accords. But the data didn't say that. The data, everybody has the data. The data doesn't say jump to phase 6 until the current regime is gone. It says specifically that you don't make a deal with Russia and Abraham Accords in exchange for peaceful trade, because they'll use the profits in order to rearm themselves, which is exactly what happened when we went into a ceasefire with Iran. They just took the time to rebuild up their weapons and start hitting Israel again.
That's what happened when Obama gave him all that money years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that it goes back to what the remotes have said also, that June we would see heavy fighting until eventually we're going to see a collapse of the Iranian government. The only way out of this is that the Iranian government has to collapse. And the only way out of this is the end of the reign of Putin. There really is no other way out of this.
Yes.
Yeah. It seems to be a set.
Absolutely.
It's like the dominoes have to fall in a certain order.
Yeah. I agree. All right. So the next thing you guys wanted to talk about a little bit on the fun side, we had not completed our conversation about the fairies and how fairies can adopt you. Somebody had asked about fairy kingdoms, and did either of you yes, we will get to this question and then we'll go into the set conversation about fairies. Is it possible that fairy kingdoms can adopt you, adopt your kin, and then you become part of that family of humans that's related to that particular kingdom of fairies? Can either of you speak to that?
Well, can't they, once they connect with you like that, stay with you for generations to come, just follow your lineage forward?
Well, I think this makes sense, because what the person is asking is, can a fairy kingdom adopt you? So say, for example, a couple of interesting things about this. Number one, that the fairies seem to be in groups that are like chiefdoms, where they have a head person, and they seem to be in groups of 40 or 50, or sometimes even part of a larger group. And it does look to an observer as if it's like a kingdom with a king and a queen. So it's interesting that it has that kind of hierarchical structure.
Reminds me of bees and the queen bee and the hive.
Right. And did you have anything you wanted to add about So we would say, yes, you can be adopted. Like the phenomenon exists, right?
Yeah. In some of my research, I even saw that there may even be intermarriage between humans and fairies. They're allegedly humans who have fairy blood. I don't know if you saw that in your own research. I saw that.
That would be something else.
Yes, that would indeed. But It's quite interesting. When I knew we were going to be talking about fairies across the world, like Europe, China, South America, Africa, how common this is. They just have their own names for them, their own characteristics. I always love, like, in the indigenous North Americans call them little people. Africa, forest and ancestor spirits. Let's see, in Japan,
Philippines.
In fact, Whimsy, did you know Japan has one of the richest collections of fairy-like beings?
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I saw different ones like the Kodama, Kitsune, Tengu, Kami, Jin. Yeah, some of the characteristics. They live in a hidden world parallel to humanity. They possess free will. They can be helpful.
Interesting.
They can be neutral, or they can be harmful, and frequently inhabit deserts, caves, isolated places. Many Western fairy tales, jinn are central to religious tradition rather than just simply folklore. So it's very rich in Japan. I thought that would be of interest to you, your love of the country.
Yeah, I found an interesting story out of China. This is a documented case of a woman by the name of Faye. She was taken by the Fae February 2020. She was a 39-year-old woman. She was suffering from agoraphobia, kind of wanted to stay in. She was not much of an outdoor person. She was taken at the 18 Ponds of the Dragon King. It was a trailhead. She had some biscuits on her and tea. She was going to go for a little walk. And when she looked up at the top of the trailhead, she saw some beautiful people sitting around a pond having a picnic. And they called her, "Faye, come join us." She didn't really recognize them. But she hung out with them and they had a very nice lunch. She fell asleep. She woke up. It was dark. She couldn't find her way down the hill. Every time she'd get lost, she would go back to the place of the picnic, hoping the people would return again. They sent a search party. She was found 17 days later. I thought it was 3 days. She thought only a couple of days had passed, but actually 17 days had passed before she was found. She was severely dehydrated, malnourished and dehydrated. So the folk legend was that there were fairies in that area that loved, just for fun, screwing with people. There's a malevolence here, though. When you think about kidnapping somebody in the land of Fae for 17 days, just because you're bored with this new toy, and then you just leave her to die lost without water, wandering around confused. Seems like a pretty dark story, don't you think?
Yeah, it certainly does sound dark.
Almost like Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
It's one of those stories that starts out kind of cute and charming, and it gets very dark quickly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so doctors felt like maybe she had a nervous breakdown, gone up there, and then broken into a fantasy. But they did have dash cam footage on the road that showed her talking to somebody, but the camera doesn't show anybody there. And then her just talking to them and going up the hill. And so that was the film footage that it caught. So it kind of goes back to this idea that these entities are out there, they're communicating with us, but they're not particularly nice.
Or they can be just mischievous.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're little troublemakers.
Yeah.
Almost like the leprechauns.
Yeah, but some of them also do good deeds, and some are friendly.
Really? I think I would be like scared to have contact with them after that story.
No, we did have a little bit of contact when we were in Cardiff, Wales.
Yeah, I had a dream where I connected with a fairy, but I just, anything that has that much power, I would not want to get on the bad side of anything that has that much power.
Yeah, because we were initially concerned about it, but we were greeted, with warmth and hospitality. We felt that, but it goes the other way quite easily.
Does fairies hold grudges?
Supposedly for many generations. For example, if you are descended from a nobleman who persecuted and chopped down trees and hated the fairy kingdom, or they would remember you, that's 10 generations ago, your grandfather did such and such. Yeah.
You were a little concerned yourself with your godmother.
Yes, my grandfather was Welsh. My grandmother went off with a Welshman, and they made a baby. But so I was worried. I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to be. But evidently
You had me
there
worried
was
too.
not much there. But
we were fine.
My thing as a psychic is I can douse and I can find dead bodies. I can find where bones are buried fairly easily.
And you did.
It's fairly easy thing for most psychics. So the thing about Butte Park that disturbed me is it became increasingly obvious that this was a former graveyard, and that the people who lived in the castle, in Cardiff Castle, simply removed the bodies and then took them out to the field and were burying them in the field behind Butte Castle for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. And so when they gave Butte Park to the people, they forgot to mention to the people that you were frolicking and dancing on the tops of the bones of hundreds of corpses that have been buried here. There were a couple of corpses that were mentioned, but most of the stones were removed.
Yeah, I think that was done in 1947, if I'm not mistaken. And it was terrible. They just exhumed remains. They tore out headstones and just turned it into a park where now people ride their bicycles and have picnics and play ball. And
but I found it like disturbing to be in a graveyard that was now converted. It's like it was never a graveyard, but we could sense where certain graves had been. Like a noblewoman, there was under a tree where a noblewoman had been buried, and then next to her were all these baby graves where all these babies had died.
Yeah.
So we wondered, were some of these her children? It was really pretty creepy.
What about King Richard III? When they found him in a parking lot.
Parking lot, yes. When they tore up the pavement, they found his remains, and I think through DNA they were able to confirm were his bones.
They confirmed it.
Yeah, I remember that.
Good God! So that's basically what happened. She was a noble woman. She used to ride in the park, and she was buried under this tree, next to what appeared to be the remains of several children. Possibly as many as 10 to 15 children's remains, and that appeared to be some kind of resting place for children who had died.
Yeah,
some of them possibly her children, and it was very disturbing.
Yeah, it was. There were beautiful flowers there. It was still a beautiful sight. The tree was beautiful that we both figured she had been buried under, and I think we were both feeling empathy because of the lack of respect for these people. I think that's what bothered us the most. When I personally tapped into it, I kept hearing them say, it's okay. It's okay. We've moved on. This was long ago. Don't worry about it so much. They didn't seem to be so concerned.
Yeah, it was really more just wigging me out.
We were concerned.
Yeah.
It was so disrespectful.
Well, Chuck, why don't you go ahead and say hi to people? Then we're going to do the empath's prayer, and then we will blitz away. If anyone has any questions for us, we can happily answer their questions.
I'd love to.
About anything that's going on in the world right now, or any questions you have.
Sure. My hyperactive kitty here. I've been trying to hold her down. But we have Chainsaw Butterfly. Love that name.
Hi.
Tori V. Sun Moon. Well, Joel Tilson, our floor director. Nancy Potter Johnson, 3454. Amherst. Jalinda, 5181. Let's see. Abada. I'm saying this right. Abada Hamid, 1112. Forgive me if I get your names wrong. Nancy Potter Johnson, Beth Andrews, 8872. Kimberly Mittak. Let's see. Debbie, P9J. Jess Miskey. Trish Brown, 2297. Sasha wants to be in the show. Doc Wims. That sounds familiar. Susie Q, 8389. Race leader.
We'll keep going through the names as we go along. If you would like to receive a healing at this time, please give us your name or the person that you would like us to pray for, and we will include them in our prayers today as we bring in the empath's prayer. And again, real quickly, for those people who didn't hear, our Book of the Month club that we have selected is The Trouble with Truth, written by Elizabeth Kelly Stevenson. She is our June selection. Be sure and check that out. Okay, without further ado, we're going to bring in the empath prayer, and then we will blitz away. Please give us your questions, and we'll try and get through them all as quickly as we can.
Okay.
Okay, I want to call on white light protection for myself in this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together collectively as a community, we say amen.
Amen.
And for those people requesting healings today, we come together at this time and we pray. We pray that you and those you love receive a perfect healing in mind, body, and in spirit. And together again, collectively as a community, we say amen, 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 amen. May all souls be healed. May all souls be healed. So let's go ahead and talk about this latest thing that Joel is drawing our attention to, and that has to do with Disclosure Day. What do you think is going on with Disclosure Day? Do you think that our government is literally telling us we have no idea what the hell's going on, you're on your own? Or do you think that they... See, I feel like they're basically telling us they can't protect us. Don't you think that that's what the American government is saying? We have no control over what's happening. We can't control the narrative anymore, and we can't protect you, which is a pretty terrifying thing for our government.
Yes,
we used to think our government has some control. I don't think our government has any control.
No. And I think in a way they have been telling us that for quite a while, maybe just in more roundabout ways. But it's also a time where people are becoming increasingly empowered in their own right. And people are recognizing we have to look out for ourselves and for each other. Because I think many people find our government is not taking care of us anymore.
Well, they're doing a lot of secret stuff that we don't know about. And they want to keep it that way.
Well, hasn't that always been the case, though?
Especially with Antarctica, Area 51, all the military bases around the world. I mean, what else are we going to find out about?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, from Jess Miskey, hello, dear Whimsy and Chuck and Joel. I want to know if my spirit guides have anything to say to me.
Let's find out, Jess, if you have a message from your spirit guides. A message from Jess's spirit guides. I feel like you're getting a lot of love and support from your spirit guides. I feel like don't buy into any negativity. They want you to know that they're very close to you and that you have what it takes to get yourself out of any difficult situation, whether it's a financial difficult situation or any difficult situation you have. You have the Lovers coming to you in the 7th house. So you have this very beautiful connection with your spirit guides. But you also have the 7 of Pentacles. So be aware of, just take care of your retirement, take care of what you need to do, and trust that you have the love and support needed in order to take care of yourself. Your final outcome is the 2 of Swords, a warning to you Do not get lost by the noise of life and continue to focus on the signal. Don't let yourself be bogged down by things that are not going to help you get from point A to point B. Know that Spirit is with you, Spirit supports you, and that whatever difficulties in life you're facing, you will work it out. But just make sure to stay focused and work on your stuff and not let yourself get distracted.
It was so interesting about what you said about from her spirit guides, because I got community spiritual ancestors, and they're giving unconditional love, and they're reminding you of your own unconditional love, but it's coming from advice from your spiritual ancestors right now. And I also concur with what Whimsy said, because I got the card rest, peace. It's about taking time to be still, take stock, rest, take care of yourself, and listen to what your spiritual ancestors want to say to you. But it is all about unconditional love. Okay, from TW 4353, there's talk in Canada that Prime Minister Carney wants to privatize our airports. It is said that the buyer is a private fund coming from New York. Is this Trump's doing? Will it happen?
That sounds pretty fishy to me.
It does to me. Yeah, that's my initial thought. But
taking control over the friendly skies could be really kind of scary. There is this confusion over Canada about the offer, and there does appear to be some kind of foreign power moving in about a new beginning that could potentially be an investment. It looks like it coming out of New York via a foreign country. So it could be Qatar, for example, wanting to invest in things like airports, etc., because this looks like it's foreign money coming in and it's a foreign investor. So we could be seeing more foreign investors investing in things like the transportation system, and that would include airports. And this it looks like it's going to be happening over the next 6 months. I think it's a foreign government. I would think Qatar. I'd be thinking Qatar, China, some foreign government trying to take control of the trade route.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of decisions going on right now. A lot of things going on behind the scenes. But it was interesting when you said that about the Canadian people, because they see this as a great shadow, and they also see shame in this. The Canadian people are fairly astute. I have a very good Canadian friend who tells me this, that it's hard to fool them. They see what's going on. They sense what's going on. But yeah, definitely it's moving toward a new direction, some sort of new life. I'm getting that. That's all that I had here. But I'm getting more about the Canadian people, very unhappy about this, very suspicious. Yeah. Question: Will the UFC match at the WH go on, or will it be canceled? There's certainly been enough controversy about it. Didn't they put some sort of cage outside in front of the White House?
Yeah,
or something. And
they did.
It's just hideous. All this talk about how. Yeah, I'm sorry.
They're going to go ahead and put in military personnel around it. Military families and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And White House personnel, along with government.
I don't see it getting canceled. What is the UFC?
Yeah.
What is UFC?
It's what do you call, Ultimate Fighting Conference or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like a martial arts and boxing.
Yeah, it's some sort of wrestling cage or something. Yeah. I don't know a lot about it myself either, other than I've just seen overhead pictures of the White House. You see the East Wing decimated. You see this god.
Why is the East Wing decimated?
The White House.
Oh, because of all the stuff that's going on?
What Trump tore down. The ballroom. It's just ruins right now. Cleared away rubble. I mean, the White House looks like hell right now.
It does.
The whole front of it. It looks tacky.
Looks like
ugly.
It's in a trailer
decimated.
Park.
Yes. And
I'm looking at a healing over the White House. 2 of Swords, 4 of Pentacles. I think that they'll get through it, but I think it's going to be very controversial, but I think it'll still go on. What are you picking up, Chuck?
Well, the thing I picked up immediately is it's not going to be canceled. It's going to go through. No. But as we have just conveyed, there is huge discontent around this. It's an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment, frankly, to the whole world looking at us. I think it was Heather Cox Richardson who said, if you had to have a photograph that would sum up the Trump administration, his presidency, show the White House what it looks like right now. Just this mess. But I think the event will go on. Paladin Poet, our government not only doesn't take care of us anymore, they're taking what rights we already had away, and they're using our money to pay for bombs. 10 billionaires, our government lies. From Shizzle 1234, my memory pass my pardon me, how do I say
Mamere.
Mamere. Okay, my mamere, pardon me, please. My mamere passed away this past January at 98. I'm so sorry. Does she have a message for me?
Sorry for your loss.
Yes, very sorry for your loss. That's a beautiful word, mamere.
Mamel. Very nonchalant about her passing. I don't feel that your mamere has any grief about the passing. I feel that she was over and done with it. She felt that she had gotten everything she could from life and that she was ready to transfer over. The Queen of Cups faces her death beautifully. Also, she has this beautiful healing around her. So
beautiful soul.
Yeah, so she has this kind of feeling around her that she is free finally, that her health is free. That for her, she had been sick for a very long time.
That reminds me so much of my own mother when she passed.
This grief
and she came to me the next day. Yeah. Because when my mother came to me the next day, I could just feel her laughing like, hey, don't grieve for me. This place is wonderful. I'm happy. I'm out of that sick body. I got that. No, it's very similar. I felt like the message overall was she's in unconditional love right now. She just wants to remind you to be conscious of your own unconditional love, be conscious of all the gifts of your life, really, really appreciate them, really savor them for everything they're worth. She's saying it goes by very fast, even if you live to be 98. And she's reminding you also to be playful, be in your imagination, be in your invention, be in your creativity, because that's where you get a lot of your ideas, a lot of your inspirations, and you get closer to what your purpose is in life. But she's saying to you to love and enjoy your life and have fun while you're doing it. Okay. Hello, Doc Whimsy, Chuck, and Joel. I am wondering if we will be safe tonight from the tornado watch we have right now. And this, of course, from Heidi Christensen. This will be my first one, and I'm a little concerned. I'm so sorry.
Where you at, Heidi?
I wonder somewhere in the Midwest, maybe.
Oh, I just left Nebraska yesterday. It was kind of a lot of things happen in the Midwest, tornado-wise.
Yeah, you got to have those underground shelters that you can go in that help protect.
I remember staying a lot of times in them in the summer, growing up.
Yeah, thinking of the Wizard of Oz.
Dorothy!
Dorothy!
Go into the storm shelter!
I can't.
I remember up on in my hometown, I had a tornado approaching where I was at, and I hightailed it down that hill. And I swear to God, I thought that tornado picked me up, threw me down about 3 times before I got to the house, before I got in the shelter.
Do what you have to do that's necessary. If they say go to shelter or shelter in place, do it. I see her in the 9 of Pentacles, which would indicate that she's in a safe place. I also feel like there's community involvement. The community helps each other wherever she's at with that Knight 6 of Pentacles. Hunker down, 10 of Pentacles, and all will be well with an Ace of Wands.
Yeah.
So the community will come together to fix anything that goes wrong. But you yourself, I feel, will be safe with that 9 of Pentacles.
That came through strongly for me because I got the Dove of Peace, with rest, Dove of Peace. It's like you're safe where you are. You're being divinely watched over. You're going to be okay. But I am getting not necessarily your community, but if there's going to be a series of tornadoes, there is definitely going to be some loss taking place. But I feel for you, you're okay. So I concur with what Whimsy said. From Coley SF, I talk to my past loved ones often. I know some are my guardian angels. I have lost all the good ones as the youngest in my family. Now I am just left with the assholes. Okay, we know what that's like, don't we?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's like, it makes you wonder who survives is often the people who are the least emotionally sensitive. The people that are emotionally sensitive, we drop like flies,
Yeah, we tend to take on energy as empaths. From Gloria Bergeron, 4342, will Planter win his primary in Maine?
Well, isn't Planter the one that's controversial?
He's got that symbol that was on his chest, that tattoo.
Primary.
He won the demo. Yeah, it's coming out that he won June 9th, so he has already won.
Planter win.
But that's because Janet Mills suspended her campaign.
Correct. I think he's the only one.
Yeah, so basically you can be sure that Susan Collins is going to be reelected, because even Democrats are not going to vote for Planter.
Yeah.
But are the charges true, though? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, he's running on an anti-Israel campaign. When you tell someone that you don't believe their country has a right to exist, I mean, that would be like us turning around and saying we don't think America has a right to exist. I mean, it's just absurd. Nobody from that country is going to take you seriously. Okay, we'll just dissolve our country. I mean, let's say, come on, man. Particularly when you're sitting on occupied Indian lands in the United States, shouting about a country you've never been to. You just look like a good old-fashioned Jew hater. And when you combine that with the fact that he's got a Nazi tattoo on, the guy's a fucking Nazi. And it goes back to that whole idea of the Democrats getting taken over by Nazis on the left.
Yeah. I just took that straight to the pendulum. And, sometimes I get like a weak answer or I get a strong answer. I got a very strong no on that one. It was just as strong as could be.
Well, he already won the primary. You mean that he's not going to win the Senate?
That's what I mean. Yeah.
So you think that Collins is going to get reelected? Because I do as well.
Well, that's what I got. I'm reading the energy of the moment. As we know, energy can shift and change. But when I looked right now, I just got no.
You think he'll drop out, guys?
Good question.
Let's take a look.
Will he
Planter
drop out? Is Planter going to drop out of the race?
Well, he's gotten accused of cheating on his wife, having neo-Nazi affiliations, calling for the destruction of the state.
Roughing up a bunch of women.
Yeah. So he presents as a violent person. He presents as the king of wands. He's a neo-Nazi.
Yeah.
So
not good.
We don't want neo-Nazis in the Democratic Party.
No.
So at this point, I think we just have to let Collins take it, because she is the most left of the Republicans, isn't she? The most left?
I'm not sure.
She's more of a moderate.
Yeah, so I would rather go with Collins moderate than being taken over by the Nazis.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's me personally. I mean, people can.
Unless Mills.
You can't vote for a Nazi. Come on now.
Unless the party drops Plattner.
Yeah, the other person shouldn't have dropped out. Then we wouldn't be in this situation.
Correct.
Yeah. Well, from at Ginger Cordova, 8600. Ginger here, wanting to know if I will move this year.
A lot of people wanting to know if they should move.
We ask that a lot, don't we?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me do first.
I'm happy where I'm at now.
Will Ginger move?
Oh, you like this? You like where you're living?
Yes, Cheyenne's beautiful.
Yeah, but I don't have a car, so I wouldn't be able to make it out there.
I drive a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to take my grandkids shopping for school next month.
Oh, how fun is that? That's always fun when you're shopping for school. So what I'm getting is that you're probably moving and that you'll be able to organize your work from home. I see you working from home and making money from home. A new job opportunity, it could be working from home, affords you the ability to move. And I see your destination possibly being southwest of where you currently are. We see her working at home, making her own money. We say it's good for your health to move. So there were health reasons. Maybe you wanted cleaner air, a less industrial environment. She's worried about her job situation, but I'm feeling like she's going to be independent when it comes to her job. And there's that move, and they seem to be pulling her southwest. That would be Arizona, New Mexico, California, Texas. That area is pulling her quite a bit.
Yeah, I agree. She's likely going to move. I interestingly enough, I got the risk card, so there might be some concern right now. Am I doing the right thing? Am I taking a chance here? But I feel like it's a good chance to be taking, because I feel that this is going to balance out your life. It's very important to stick to your priorities, what it is. You're very clear on what you want. And ultimately, this is why I feel you are going to move, because I think that's what you want. And I got the gifts card. So it looks like it's going to be a good resolution. Happy ending for you there.
Now, Joel, when you say you were happy there, did you have a history in Cheyenne, or did you just no history at all?
Well, I found out recently that my great grandfather's cousin lived out in Laramie, which is about 50 miles west from here. And he loved it too. And then he stayed here until he passed.
It's
and then
beautiful.
his children moved to Denver, which I still have cousins down there now.
I have family in Denver.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've never been to
Denver's,
Cheyenne. See it.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's
I think
beautiful,
I'm gonna be, when I turn 67, I'll probably become a digital nomad. I might spend a year in Georgia, a year in Albania, flying back and forth, do my pasta runs.
I may
That's
be
probably
joining
what
you.
I get. Yeah, Chuck,
North African.
Chuck,
You got that North African in you.
yeah, that nomad in me on my Spanish
Correct.
side. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think I might just do that, do some slow travel across Europe and Thailand. Thailand's also affordable.
Hot.
And
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
very hot, very humid too.
you got to go when it's not hot, like during the rainy season or whatnot.
Women are in charge in Thailand. They are.
There you go.
I
They
love
call
it.
the shots.
Cool.
Go ahead here. From Kaloa SF, it tore the east wing down, and now he's building a fighting cage on the front lawn. Yes.
So at this point, do people think that it has got the crazy is out of control?
Oh, I think
Six Flags over in White House.
that genie got out of the bottle a long time ago. Yes.
Okay, so that it goes back to, do we think they're going to put a stop to it? I don't know.
I hope so. Did you see what he did to the reflecting pool in the mall? How he
changed it to blue.
Painted the bottom of it to look like a swimming pool. Painted the bottom of it blue. I mean, it's hideous. Hideous. Basically they are going to do the equivalent of tractor pulls and big trucks on the front lawn of the White House. Well, isn't that, as Church Lady would say, well, isn't that special?
Well, isn't that what the people that voted for him like?
Yeah. At least the stereotype is that's what they like. The redneck stereotype. Yep. I helped my stepmom pass in the hospital, held her hand, and kept feeling euphoria for 2 days after amidst my grief.
Wonderful.
And the euphoria was what she was feeling on the other side, I believe. Yes. Oh, most
Isn't
definitely.
that nice?
As I just said, I experienced that personally when my mother passed. I talked to many people who go through that. The Heidi Christensen, I live on the third floor of my apartment building. It is the top floor, hence my concern. Yes, that's understandable. Any of us who have been in high rises
Usually,
and have felt them sway in the wind.
Yeah, usually they have a basement or an underground parking area you can go to that's usually safe.
Definitely so.
Yeah.
And, a friend of mine from Texas said it was always very important, because she grew up with tornadoes. She said it's very important to open up all the windows and the doors to depressurize the building.
Otherwise, it would explode.
Yes, explode. So I assume that would apply there also. I was so from Kaloa SF. I was so confused at first why I was getting euphoric feelings, but she had an amazing spiritual passing with terminal lucidity, aka rally before death. It was beautiful. Yeah. My mother, it was like
sounds like my wife.
Well, you know something I'll say about my mother very quickly. My mother was something of a curmudgeon. You know, she wasn't one to just naturally smile. My father walked in and found her in bed after she had passed away. She had a great big grin on her face. So something happened in that last moment to make her smile, something really good. Somebody came to greet her. I think it was probably her father. From Warrior Queen's Magic, good night. Any messages from my late mom? I miss her dearly. Sorry.
Your kitty is really active today.
Yes, she is. You would think I'd put espresso in her water dish.
I just noticed your cat's all over you today. It's really weird.
Yes, she is, Sasha. Sorry.
Yes, more than usual.
I know it looks
It's like literally every 5 seconds is like there's this cat flying in front of the cat. I'm like, what the hell is going on over there?
I'm very aware of how unprofessional it looks right now.
It's fine. Everybody loves.
She wants a close up. She probably wants a close up.
So message for Warrior Queen's Magic. I feel like your mother is basically that she was in a peaceful place, that the main thing I get on your mom's passing is the peace goes to the other side. But we have this beautiful Queen of Peace coming in and a sense of grief that you really felt the emptiness when your mom was gone. You felt this sense of grief. But you have this beautiful 9 of Pentacles, this confidence in the garden. The main thing I take away from your mom is that she is in a good place, that she is not haunted. And I'm very acutely aware of your loneliness or sense of separation from her in this remote. But to know that she's in a good place energetically and that she is with you in a sense, even though she may not feel that way right now.
When I do readings like this, I always pick up on that people are in a very good place. And they're usually with relatives. When people do private readings with me, it almost always comes through that the relatives are very aware of what's going on in your life. They're watching over you. They are guiding you. They're trying to talk to you. I kept getting messages yesterday, and I read for people, be sure to increase your intuition, your intuitive abilities, and listen, because they very much want to communicate. But your message for your mother, for you, I got the self-esteem card, and self-esteem just means she wants you to really value yourself, acknowledge your power, acknowledge your worth, really, really own that. That's what she's telling you. That's the message I got from this one card when it jumped out. From Zen Monster, I would love any message from my birth mother. I was abandoned at birth by her husband. So sorry. She died when I was a baby. Anything to connect with her?
God, sounds like she had a really rough time of it.
Yeah.
Bless your heart.
You know, if I could just say real quick, I haven't pulled cards yet, but I'm hearing already she's very proud to have brought you into the world. She's very proud of that.
I feel that this woman may suffer from agoraphobia or fear of the outside world, and that because of the difficulty she had with her early life, she became something of an introvert. You have this kind of fear of the outside world and feeling caged, never really feeling completely comfortable with people. She spent a lot of time dreaming and a lot of time isolated or alone. But I also see that you have mastery over you, and you're someone who's probably very good at your job because you spent a lot of time in research and not so much socializing. Socializing may have been difficult as a result of this. And so the main message is, I think what Chuck had said, that this was, your mother loved you very much, and even though she passed, it wasn't what she wanted, and that how it shaped you personally, I think is interesting. and that you will emerge the master because of it. To some extent, not hanging out with friends and being a social butterfly from a big family because you didn't have that social butterfly upbringing. It meant learning to be comfortable being alone for long stretches of time.
Yeah. Well, I feel that your mother is also reminding you to remain resolutely in your purpose. And as Whimsy was saying, you sound like a person very focused and in your purpose. So she's very pleased with that. Remain in your purpose, but she's also reminding you to find balance, because we can all be guilty of being too much in one direction and not balancing out life. Like maybe you do need to have a little more community in your life and so forth. Just be aware of balance, but you're constantly going toward new beginnings. You're constantly moving forward. And again, I was just getting this feeling like she's proud of you. She was proud that she brought you into this world. I heard that first and foremost. Let's see, from Ellen Z Live. BS, he is not a Nazi. That is mad MAGA propaganda. His last GF worked for TP USA. Maine will get the Senate back. Speak facts. He's a Democrat who served our country.
Well, actually, here are the facts. We can look at some of the things he got in touch with. Old Reddit posts from 2013 to 2021. Planter, he called himself P. Hustle, which he acknowledged posted inflammatory content, including blaming sexual assault victims for not taking responsibility. For example, blaming them for heavy drinking or act like an adult. Take responsibility for how you wound up in that situation. Calling rural white Americans racist and stupid. Referring to himself as a communist. All cops are bastard, and crude sexist remarks. He attributes them to a dark period of untreated PTSD, depression, heavy drinking, crude military humor. His second allegation against him was that he has a Nazi-linked tattoo of Totem Kopf and an SS skull. True, it is true that he does. He had it context disputed. He had it placed at 2007 when he was a Marine. He covered it up after it became public. He claims he didn't know the Nazi Association, which would be pretty hard to believe.
Yeah.
Sexting allegations, explicit text while married from 2023 onward. This was confirmed that he was sending explicit messages to other women shortly after marrying Avery Gertner in 2023. His wife flagged them to a campaign as a vulnerability. He has not yet denied the text. Allegations of abusive behavior towards ex-girlfriends. Described him as charming but volatile. Alleged physical incidents, including grabbing shoulders, hard enough to leave marks. Overall context, he says that he has PTSD and these were dark periods. So those are the allegations. And for me, they're concerning. So
Yes.
I am not in Maine, so it's not up to me, but I wouldn't vote for him.
Yeah. Whimsy, from Randy DeMel, 5870. Whimsy, you're not the only one without a car. I'm thankful that most everything I need is close by. It's like Whimsy, when we were in major cities like Rome, London, the public transportation is so good, you don't need to have a car. It's a very lucky thing. Ellen Z. Live, he was slandered. There is no reason a pedophile president of the United States would go to these links to get Democrats to not vote for him.
I think that we're headed down a dangerous road with the anti-Israel, anti-Jewish stuff. I say that as an Israeli who is not happy with the direction Israel is going, but calling for the destruction of someone's country, you've lost me at that point.
Yeah. From Irish Girl, my great-great-great-grandfather was the first circuit judge for territory of Wyoming.
That's cool.
Yeah.
From, I like this name, Tricky Tree, 8815. I have had to distance myself from my sisters this year. I am wondering if they are going to be honest with my mom's estate when the time comes, or will they try to cheat me? I just want to say, because I've I do readings for people, and I've had several readings, including one yesterday. People fighting their siblings or family over contested wills. It's just amazing how much this goes on. But do you have a message from my deceased brother who passed 10 and a half months
wait a minute.
ago?
Was that a question we were supposed to be?
Well, yeah, that was a question.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, because she's wondering if they're going to be honest with my mom's estate when the time comes, or will they try to cheat me? I certainly hope I get a better answer than what I've been getting for other people, because I've been getting a lot of duplicity coming up in families. It's like money seems to bring out the truth of who people really are.
People will try and cheat you.
Mm-hmm. I see that a lot, but I want to get a different answer, but I'm going to see what comes up.
They will behave as they have always behaved. However they've been towards you in the past when you were vulnerable, this is how they will treat you. So if you have been vulnerable in the past and exploited in the past because of your vulnerabilities, this could happen again. Mm-hmm. Also, falsely accusing you of things you've never done has happened in the past. Things are moving. Yes, heartbreak. You cannot be at the mercy of these people. You must get a lawyer and protect yourself, because I'm feeling that you will have further problems with these people. I'm sorry to say, but you will win. Assume the worst and take necessary actions to protect yourself.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate you have to assume the worst, but this just comes up over and over in the readings I've been doing. And sure enough, I wanted to get better cards, but what I got right off the top, there's deceit, and there's a lot of denial about the deceit. You know, people don't want to acknowledge this. There's shame going on. You're feeling all the restriction of this. You're feeling clamped down by it. But I feel ultimately it's going to balance out in the ruling. It's going to balance out, but you're going to have to really stand your ground, stand your power,
Lawyer up,
stay in your truth, lawyer up. Yeah, and it will eventually balance out if you do that. And then this one is, let me put my cards back. Just 1 second. Do you have a message for my deceased brother who passed 10.5 months ago? I was this caregiver 24/7 the last year of his life.
Well, thank you for taking care of him. That was really beautiful of you.
It's a very noble calling. I have a very dear friend who's basically put his entire life on hold to take care of his elderly mother right now. It's a very noble thing to do.
I did that for 9 years for my wife. It's tough.
It's my father had to be my mother's caretaker when he was 82 years old. It nearly killed him.
Oh my God.
Before my mother died. I mean, my father actually admitted to my sister and myself he sometimes was getting an hour of sleep a night. We were horrified. We didn't know this. We weren't being told this until we flew in to visit together and saw how bad the situation really was.
The main thing I get is that things are going to start new for you, Jennifer, and that you're starting a new life and a new road and coming out of the isolation, taking care of your brother. You've got really, really isolated. Don't be an old maid, get out and see the world a little bit. Your brother is saying that he made mistakes in his past. So he is attributing some of his health problems to things he did in the past. You can see that devil card and that tower. So he was a bit naughty in his life, and he seems to feel that it contributed to his health challenges. But it's important for you not to give up on your life and to go out and see more of the world and not hide yourself away. And that's the main message I get from that reading.
Yeah. What I got, the first card here is you've been too deeply immersed in his loss, and that concerns him. It's like he wants you to move on from this loss. He appreciates very much your love, your grief, but he wants you to move on because he's telling you, when I get the community card I got from this, get out into the world, get out with people, activities. And if you get out into the world, you're coming into gifts and celebration. I mean, you're going to just find so much joy and a new life by doing this. But he's saying, move out of the grief. It's okay. Move on. Warrior Queen's Magic. Do you see me moving back to Maryland? Do I see?
Moving back to Maryland. Possibly, yes. You've got the death card in the seventh house. Major changes over you. There are things you really like about Maryland. I feel like you were more socially involved in Maryland, and there's a new beginning, possibly buying a plot of land and putting a new house on it or something of that nature, because there's this new beginning with a new house in your future. It's very likely you do move back to Maryland. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got that with the pendulum. And this came up earlier for somebody else who was asking about moving. Many times when you're making a decision like this, it does involve a certain amount of risk. Like you see the trapeze artist going out and hoping the other person grabs her hands. But I think it's a good risk. You're going to be okay. I think you're going to get epiphanies. You're going to realize this is what you want. It's what you're going to do. Celebration. You're going to be very happy there. That's what I get.
Soft shell crab.
Yeah. Hey, I'm from Virginia, so I know Maryland quite well. Elizabeth Wabro, question: will I move to Europe before I can retire in 9 years? Whoa, this question. Will I move to Europe before I can retire in 9 years? I love what I do, but feel stuck here. Thank you.
Europe sounds like fun.
We're hearing a lot of that. People feeling discontent where they are. People wanting to move. You've heard me, Whimsy, say, Europe looks a lot more appealing to me. Italy. I came back to LA, and LA does not seem so glamorous or appealing to me anymore. And I am starting to feel a little stuck here right now, frankly. So I empathize. But question, will you move to Europe before you can retire in 9 years? Let's see.
It's confusion over the question. And it is undetermined at this time. There are benefits to you leaving early. However, I feel that there are commitments that could cause you to change, to be stuck here. They're saying that you will not leave the United States so long as you have commitments here in the United States. You would have to cut cords with a lot of things before you could just pack up and leave the States, because you've got this huge devil of issues attachment and this desire to leave. So you would have to really spend a couple years cutting cords and prepping for that before you could just up and leave.
Oh, yeah. Lots of I'm so sorry, Whimsy. Were you still reading? You're done?
No, that's it.
Okay, because, obviously decisions are weighing heavily here. It was interesting. I got the restriction card. The person locked up, chains, the lock, restriction. I think that definitely shows how you're feeling: stuck, held back, restricted. And I think this concurs exactly with what Whimsy said. If you were to do something like this, it's going to involve a lot of compromising right now. So you're going to have to be really at peace with that. You're going to have to really think that through. But the biggest card I got, the one that really jumped out, is if you're going to do something like this, it's going to take a lot of creativity, like a lot of finagling, a lot of research, a lot of just weighing the options, maybe even traveling there a few times, listening to your heart. This is where I am right now too. So it's going to take a lot of this, a lot of creativity, if you were to pull this off. But right now, as Whimsy said, it's going to be a lot of compromise. Michelle, 5454, would you have a message for me from my mother or father, please? I miss them both so much. Well,
message is confusion. But the main thing I get is that you may be feeling directionless at this time, not really knowing where to go from here, kind of feeling a little lost since the passing of your family. I'm seeing a new job, or they want you to go back to work or go back to doing something that gives you meaning, that makes you have to get up in the morning. Like I'm seeing you really committing to a new profession or new job. But the main issue that I got over the passing of family was a feeling that you had become directionless after they passed and not really knowing what to do with yourself. But they're talking about a new job or new career coming in that's going to spark new excitement for you in the future.
Find your niche. I was going to say, find your niche.
Yeah.
It was so interesting because she asked for a message from her mother and father. I get family card right off the bat, so it's telling me this is where this is coming from. I'm getting the feeling like you're a little overwhelmed right now, tired, overwhelmed, stuck, like a lot of us are feeling. You're very much in need of finding some balance to your life. And whenever I get this truth card, often it's saying, what is your truth? What is it that you really want. You got to be really clear on that. What do you want to achieve? But I do see you, moving toward things that you appreciate, things that you love, partnership and love. I don't get this necessarily for people as much as maybe, as Whimsy said, a career of some kind or something you're going to really appreciate. And I see also it's about getting out into the community, getting out into the world and seeing where this is going to take you. Mm-hmm. That's what I have. From Subi 6418.
This is going to be our last question for the day because it's already been it's almost 6:30.
Really? Time flies.
Yeah.
I love doing this.
Yeah.
You guys are great. You're doing great tonight.
Thanks.
Well, we love what we do, and we love you people out there. Subi 6418 question. Really struggling at the moment. Will my life improve soon? Well, let's see here. I've got to put my cards back. Reshuffle.
A lot of people are getting this confusion card. A lot of people don't know their calling in life.
I was getting that yesterday in readings.
It begins with self-care, right? And taking care of your own health. They feel like something is going on, like she's directionless, and they want her to start putting time into just her physical health. And the final direction is she's got a lot of grief also. So it just starts with the basics, just like the Elders and Empaths group. We have mystery school every Wednesday night where we're teaching people how to basically take care of themselves, because not all of us knows how to take care of themselves. But a new beginning is starting for you between now and spring of 2027. And they want you to start focusing on the little things, putting yourself on a disciplined lifestyle of improving your diet, your nutrition, your exercise. Archangel Raphael comes in, make a decision to make your health a priority. And they're talking about when you start to get physically healthier and stronger, you start to feel like the whole world opens up for you. Mm-hmm. Start with commitment to your physical health. Everything else will follow.
I more or less got that when I got the self-control card, because that's a form of discipline, going within, as you've been talking about, Whimsy, taking accountability for the aspects of your life, really be honest with yourself. But self-control, I get solitude, often that means be in meditation. Sorry, my cat's here. Meditation, listen to your intuition. It's also about your own self-esteem. This card has come up for others, self-esteem, self-worth, your value in this world. Get really, really clear on that. And as Whimsy said, I think a lot is going to follow, because I also got it's important for you to be in your sense of invention and imagination. And that's a lot about channeling and receiving and being in that place of solitude, but also taking care of your physical health, your mental health, spiritual health, all of that. And the rest follows through after that.
Love yourself.
Yes, love yourself. Lucille Ball, my idol, always said, love yourself first and everything else will fall in place.
That's right.
Yeah, good motto.
It works.
It does. It really does. From Kaloa SF, a $10 donation. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Giving respects to our amazing panel tonight. Thank you. Thank you three so much for these wonderful insights and healing. Well, thank you. We appreciate you every bit as much. That's very kind.
Yeah.
Gracious.
Well, thank you, everybody who has decided to join us for Taco Tuesdays and to talk about everything going on in the world. We definitely feel like we're looking at the fall of both Iran and Russia. I think that was what came out today. Mm-hmm. And the isolation of Putin, probably facing house arrest. And we don't see any kind of resolution with the war with Iran until the Strait of Hormuz is being controlled, I think, by the West. And I'm going to go ahead and predict that there's rising tension between the United States and Saudi Arabia, because it's really Saudi Arabia that wants to control all this, but doesn't want to actually join the war. And that could create future problems between the United States and the Saudis. We also predicted that Qatar's continued attacks against Israel and trying to create a rift with Hamas, etc., would further isolate Qatar and could lead to a downturn economically in their fortunes in the coming years.
They're going to lose a lot of business.
Yeah, so that was something else so I think the wars are going to escalate in June, and then by the end of June we will definitely know who the winners are. And I think we're looking at Ukraine winning and Putin's isolation, and I think we're looking at the West winning in Iran. I don't think there's any way to cut any kind of a deal with the existing government of Iran. I think that it will collapse, and I think it has collapsed, and I think that there is an understanding by the countries that want to be part of the Abraham Accords that it was always going to end that way, that there was never going to be a deal with this particular government.
Iran's assets have been frozen anyway.
Yeah.
So they're broke.
Yeah. It's been planned for a very, very long time. That's what we've been trying to explain to people. The fall of Iran was planned many, many years ago. This is why we try to show people the data that got collected years and years ago by one of the great things about supercomputers is that supercomputers can really see the future, and they can usually predict, because they're not emotional, they can usually predict the direction that our intelligence agencies are moving in. And 2-3 years ago, they predicted that they would take out Iran and Putin as well.
Yep.
And so far, the math has proven to be quite accurate. Yeah. All right, Chuck, if people are trying to get, so have you put up your calendar yet so people can book themselves?
I signed up for Zoho. I now need to speak to a representative to find out how to link it to my site, but that's going to be my next project. I had a friend whose mother was very ill today, and I had to take care of that. So I will do that tomorrow.
Yeah, I think all you do is you just cut and paste the link.
Yeah, there, but I do have the service, so you can.
Yeah, so
you can go on and book appointments with me. Make it easier.
Yeah, so just cut and paste that link to all of your channel, and then to all of your videos, so that people know where they go to get an appointment with you.
Yeah, but in the meantime, as always, you can write me at dransfieldchuck@gmail.com as well. I love doing readings. I had a lot of fun yesterday. Whimsy, I don't know how much you watched of the show, but I had a lot of people coming in wanting readings. And that's just my joy. That. And I've been doing, channel readings. I have videos up, Amelia Earhart, Marilyn Monroe, Betty Davis, Fanny Bryce. I'm getting huge response. It's quite exciting.
This is not the right address. It's not YouTube at Dransfield Chuck. It's just get rid of the YouTube at. It's just
get rid of that. Dransfieldchuck@gmail.com. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just Dransfieldchuck@gmail.
That's how you can reach me. And I just love to hear from you. So reach out to me.
Yeah.
And of course, I have Chuck's Captivating Chronicles and Chuck's Captivating Chat, my Monday show, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Where I'm doing intuitive readings. And of course, we still do the old Hollywood stories. That's always been popular, and having a lot of fun with this. I'd say right now I'm cooking with gas with my channel.
Yeah. So if you need to get a reading with Chuck, you can contact Chuck at dransfieldchuck@gmail.com. If you're trying to get in for a reading with me, you can just Google Dr. Whimsy Anderson, book me through Booksy. The information is usually been under most of the videos I do. Okay. Oh, no at. There's no at Chuck. Get rid of the at. Geocosmic Valentine, that's not right. She's trying to help, but it's no.
I know, and I appreciate that so much. That's very sweet.
Yeah, it's just dransfieldchuck@gmail.com.
That's what it is.
And whimsyanderson@gmail.com, or you can just book through Booksy. Thank you, Geocosmic. That's very sweet of you. All right, we're out of here. Be kind to all so that all will be kind to you too. God bless. Peace out. Thank you, Joel Tilson, for being here.
Thank you, Joel.
And
wonderful.
Anytime.
We'll see you next time, everybody.
See you next
time.
Bye, everyone.
Hold for 5.